Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here. Hope everyone's well. Obviously I'm back with another video. So yeah, this video I want to talk about as the title suggests, the one-stop shop or place or shop for all things dyslexia related. So I want to talk about some of my plans for getting together a group of people with dyslexia to show what we can contribute or do for the world, especially developing countries or colonized countries, which I hope to come to. So anyway, I hope people out there enjoy it, especially dyslexics, but even non-dyslexics as well. And I hope to talk about some of the positives and strengths of dyslexia, as I often do on these videos, as well as some of the challenges we face. And yeah, basically what we can contribute to the world. So yeah, here's a list of some ideas which I was thinking about last night, and I hope you enjoy it. So here goes. So number one, I hope to put together a group of all possible dyslexic individuals, people with dyslexia, organizations, associations, even possibly businesses which are owned by dyslexics, organizations such as Made by Dyslexia, the Dyslexic Advantage, maybe even the Yale Center for Dyslexia and Creativity, international dyslexia organizations and dyslexic organizations in Africa and Asia, all across Asia and Africa, and yeah, just as many dyslexic organizations as possible, which would be prepared to work together towards showing what dyslexic people can do. And there's a lot of organizations such as Made by Dyslexia and Dyslexic Advantage, and probably others as well, which try to look at, even the British Dyslexia Association, BDA, try and look at what positives dyslexic people have and can contribute to the world, rather than just the negatives, what we see in society or in school, where they think we just have weaknesses, but they don't see our strengths. So where dyslexic people might be weak academically, we have strengths like in creativity or innovation, art, business, and all sorts of great things. So dyslexic people have contributed many great things, and hopefully we can contribute more in the future. So on that note, number two, once I bring these groups together, all being well, hopefully I will discuss looking at teaching what positives dyslexic people have, especially in parts of Asia and Africa. Unfortunately, with COVID, coronavirus, and all that negative stuff, all that horrible stuff, unfortunately, and other illnesses and diseases which seem to be emerging, unfortunately, it will be hard, well, probably impossible really, to travel, unfortunately. So maybe a lot of these things for now will have to be done online, but hopefully, if there is an opportunity, obviously, we can also come together and travel to parts of Asia or Africa. I mainly wish to show what we can contribute to developing countries in terms of like tackling poverty and improving their economies, and also for politicians, governments, and the wider society, including dyslexics and non-dyslexics alike in parts of Asia and Africa, to learn what dyslexic people can do rather than just what we can't do, and look at where we might need some support, but how we can contribute to things like art, business, tech, and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, I'd love for people in Africa to learn about, and Asia to learn about those positive things, and again, like mainly from countries that were colonized as an anti-imperialist, and also countries which are emerging or still growing. So they need a lot of help. So hopefully, we show what dyslexic people can actually do, which I think would be quite an irony, be quite ironic to look at where people might think dyslexic people are weak or need help or not very good at things, or it's just a disability, to see that actually there are gifts to do with dyslexia as well. So although we do have weaknesses in reading, writing, arithmetic, spelling, and things to do with academia, we can be strong in other areas. And again, these organizations are looking into things like that, and hopefully I'd love to bring them together and like have conferences. My dream before coronavirus unfortunately happened was to, one of my many dreams was to, or is to still, host these events, have different African nations hosting these events, and senators, politicians, whatever they call them in those countries, talking about the strengths and positivity of dyslexia. Number three, again, I love to help countries that were colonized and look at the contributions dyslexic have made and can make to the world, as I say, in areas like areas where dyslexics are quite prominent. Not all dyslexics are good at art. I myself am not that good at art, but many dyslexics are good at art. Anything that involves creativity, innovation, out-of-the-box thinking, even business, and many other areas. Research has shown like dyslexics can be good in those sorts of areas. So I think I would choose countries that were colonized because I think they lost a lot of their liberty and freedom. So I sort of want to reparate them for this, or make up for it. As I say, I hope to cover that in more detail either in this video or the coming videos I'm going to make. Number 4, again, I'd love to also look at what dyslexics can contribute, like how we can go from a group that is underprivileged or disadvantaged, which can often end up in prison or unemployed or underemployed or struggling to get jobs and keep jobs, especially in this market, and how we think differently and people don't always understand us, to how we can become actually, funny enough, job creators. And by helping dyslexics, you can cut crime and make the world a better place. And hopefully dyslexics at the same time can help other people as well. Number 5, again, I hope to look at more focus on the positives of dyslexia and look at listening to dyslexic people about their dreams and aspirations and how they can be inspired, and how dyslexics can teach each other, ones who have done well, to teach other dyslexics, so we can look at what we can do and work on our strengths and overcome our weaknesses by working together with others. Number 6, I would, as an Italian fan, a bit of a bias of mine, but I'd love to see what dyslexics can contribute to Italian football and raise awareness of dyslexia in Italy through football. I know that contradicts a bit my anti-imperialist stuff, because Italy can be quite an imperialist country, or is quite an imperialist country in many ways, imperialistic. But because I've supported Italy since I was young, I'd love to show what dyslexics can do with our out-of-the-box thinking to benefit Italian football, both at club, team, and national level. And I'd love to work with dyslexic artists, especially from Italy itself, to look at what dyslexic artists can do to draw a football pitch and draw the different tactics visually, so different tactics about how players can play and how they can improve and that sort of thing. I'd love to discuss that with them in the future and discuss my ideas and how they could draw those ideas on plain paper and things like that, and share it with the Italian FA and SERIE and the Italian leagues and that sort of thing, all working together. So I also made a group for the one-stop place for Italian football as well. So number 7, I'd love to do the same or similar, at least, with Celtic as well. Celtic FC. Again, I'm a big fan of Celtic, and I love the work they do for charity and how they are the Irish diaspora, and how they support social justice, social causes, like they support people of all different backgrounds and things like that. So I think, generally speaking, the club at least, and many of the fans do a lot of good stuff for the wider community as well, and they've looked after immigrants and people of colour and things like that. So I think, as an oppressed group, I love to support them. I'm normally on the side of the underdog, basically. Again, I'd love to see what dyslexics could do, similar to what I'd love to see dyslexics do in Italian football, thinking outside the box, ways to help Celtic to market, increase the brand value, and just generally improve Celtic as much as possible in the future, and help it to be the best it can be. And I'd love to have football events as well that raise money for maybe dyslexic entrepreneurs in developing countries. And Stephen Naismith, I think his name is, who used to play for the rivals Rangers, he's also got dyslexia. But symbolically, I'd love to have a match where he's involved, but to show that even though we support rival teams, we can still come together against bigotry and things like that, against prejudice or hate or whatever. Number 8, again, I'd love to encourage people to see the positive sides of dyslexia, especially in Africa, Asia, Ireland, maybe in Latin America, maybe even indigenous people from Australasia and the Americas, to learn about dyslexia, and again to learn about the strengths of dyslexia, and maybe see if there are many, supposedly 10% of the population, regardless of race or ethnicity, have dyslexia. So I'm sure there are many people with dyslexia in Native American and Aborigine Maori communities as well. So it'd be great to see what they could contribute if encouraged. Number 9, I love the irony of dyslexic writers or authors. There are actually dyslexics who are writers and authors, and maybe they could teach other dyslexic people who might not think they could be authors or writers writers/authors because they've got dyslexia. They can learn that these people have done it, and those people could perhaps teach other people, including mentoring those in Africa. And again, using art and celebrating the successes and achievements, accomplishments, and contributions to the world by dyslexic people. And number 10, I'd love to celebrate and acknowledge and have a list of the of many dyslexic young entrepreneurs with dyslexia, and again what they can achieve. And I'd love to support young entrepreneurs in Africa and Asia with dyslexia, and Ireland, and those other places I talked about supporting. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace and out.